What's going on, guys? I'm Daniel with Hustle Every Day, and today, as you can see, we are working on my John Deere Z530. I'm having some deck problems in terms of the cutting height. It's cutting a little bit wonky, and I adjusted the height up and down every different way I could. I thought about buying a new deck. Decks are like $1,600. I ran into something and I thought I'd messed up my deck. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So right in here, as you can see, I've actually attached, sorry, that's my chains hanging down from my hoist, but I've actually attached new front guide wheels because I ran into something and I just dented, you can see my terrible welds here, but I just dented the crap out of my deck and I thought I'd messed up the deck. So I was going through all the different things that I thought it could be, and I started taking the deck apart, dropping the deck. I just wanted to take a look at it, see what was going on. And it's pretty crazy what I found. Some of you may know this, but if you're having issues getting your height correct on your deck or on your blades, it may not necessarily be your blades. It may not necessarily be your deck. It may not necessarily be your height adjustment, but there's a couple brackets. And this is for the John Deere Z530, but I'm sure other mowers have these same exact setups. And what's crazy is these brackets are incredibly thin. So I'll give you an example. This is one of my old ones here that I just pulled off. And all of these holes hold basically the deck brackets. So all of those different holes on this bracket, all of this stuff, your height adjustment stuff, it all goes into it. Here's a front bracket right here. Same thing. This one runs all the way across. It's a single bracket. I had to replace this one also. As you can see, it looks pretty new. Replaced it in the last few weeks. I've done the other side bracket already for the other side of the mower. Now I'm just working on this side. And I just thought, this is pretty crazy because my cutting was just absolutely horrible. And I own a lawn care business, and it was to the point of being embarrassing. I mean, I was about ready to go out and buy another mower, which I actually did buy another 32-inch stand-on. And I was basically telling my customers, hey, if I can't get this figured out with my John Deere, I'll just start cutting your yard with my 32-inch stand-on until I can get this figured out. Luckily, like I said, I started dropping the deck and messing with some stuff. I also, in lieu of trying to figure this out, I replaced all 3 spindles. I can add a link down there. I found them for pretty inexpensive. They actually weren't listed for this mower. They were listed for like the 930, but the model number cross-referenced is the same. So I went ahead and took a shot in the dark because I guess it wasn't a shot in the dark. I did some research, but the ones specific for this mower were like $400. And these here were like $125, and they looked identical. Ended up they were identical, but I'll do a video on the spindles later. I will, like I said, put the link down there if you are interested in that. But the bottom line, the spindles didn't fix it. A new belt didn't fix it. I put new height adjustment bracket, pins, screws, whatever you want to call them. That didn't fix it. Like I said, I was getting ready to buy a new deck when I started, like I said, to drop it. And I found these brackets. And what you can see is if you look at these holes, they are crazy messed up. Now, I've added some weld in there because when I first looked at them, they were huge. I mean, they were probably an inch off. They were stretched every different way, both sides, the front and the back. And I'm not terribly hard on my mower. Like I said, I ran into a curb. Essentially, a pin fell out, dropped the deck down. I didn't realize it. I was coming up to a driveway. The driveway was a little higher than the grass level. My front deck wheel hit it, basically stopped me, threw me off my mower. it just completely jammed everything up, messed everything up. But that was it. I mean, it wasn't terribly hard, but it was hard enough, obviously, to throw me forward off my mower. But it didn't like flip my mower or anything like that. But it was a pretty good hard hit. Other than that, that was really all I had ever done in terms of an accident, I guess. And you can see, look at these holes on this. Every single one of them is messed up. Let me show you what the bracket, the new bracket looks like compared to the old one. So that's the new one. Look at the difference. I'm going to set them side by side and flip around the camera, and I'll let you see what I'm seeing. All right, so like I said, I did add some weld into here to try to close them up. Same with right there. You know, it's really hard to weld it absolutely perfect, at least for me, because I'm not the best welders, but, you know, I had to add some weld right over here on this one because it was stretched out, you know, like out into here. This one was all kinds of messed up. I mean, it was huge. This one was all stretched out all the way around. And just take a look at the difference. It may not look that massive, but it's enough to throw your cut off tremendously. I mean, to the point that it'll look like you cut the yard with two different mowers. So like I said, I did already pull most of this apart. It's really not rocket science. You just got to take this guard off. There's just a couple little plastic push pins that go in there. To be honest, I don't even take them out. I just yank up on the whole thing and they just pop out, and then I put new ones in if they break. And then to actually get your bracket off, you have these little annoying push pins that go through these. So basically these slide through here, and you know, it goes through. Let's get this right here. Kind of goes like that, and that's how it's all held on. And you'll see when I'm all done, but I just want to give you a quick little rundown of taking it apart. Like I said, these pins are kind of a bitch. You have to push this top piece off over the ring. So let me put one on here, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is kind of what they look like when they're on. And when it's back on the other side of the mower and you're trying to get it off, it's fairly tough. I've bent this one up a little bit too. You can see I've kind of bent that piece out. When they're on there from the beginning, this little top piece right here is all the way back here. So it can be fairly difficult to get them off, but essentially what you got to do is you got to push that over, and then it's tough to do with one hand, and then pop it out. Now that looked extremely easy, but if you're doing it and you're not able to see what you're doing and the pin is hooked in well like they are from the factory, it's kind of difficult. So I recommend some needle nose pliers. Just kind of bend at it a little bit, tug at it. You will get them off. It's not impossible, but it's definitely a little frustrating, especially the first time that you try to take them off. So again, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around. I'm going to put this back together. I'm just going to set the camera behind me there so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. And hopefully this helps you out. If you have, like I said, if you have a mower similar to this and it's not cutting well, and you've checked everything else, check this stuff, because it makes, like I said, a tremendous difference on how your mower cuts. And these brackets are incredibly thin. If I were to make them, or if I had a CNC machine, I would definitely cut them out of thicker metal. If I were John Deere, I'd cut them out of thicker metal. Because they cost like $60 a piece. The front bracket's like $140, and they're on like a 13-week back order. So that was why I welded the brackets that I had, because I could not continue to cut for 13 weeks with my mower cutting like it was. So I got it cutting well enough that people stopped complaining. In fact, it looked pretty darn good. It was just cutting a little bit shorter than I wanted it to, so I had to lift it all the way up and raise the deck all the way up. But overall, I got it cutting nice, well enough to get me through until they came in, got all the brackets in, installed the front, installed the one on the right side, and now you guys are watching me install the one on the left side. So I'm going to hook it up here behind me. Let me know if you have any questions. Be happy to respond to you. Thanks, guys. All right, we're all set up. Sorry about the water softener sound back there. It's going to go away in a moment. But you guys just need to see how this is done. So I just needed a little bit better angle on that. We're gonna have to kind of finagle it a little bit to get that through. You also want to make sure that down here, you want to make sure that that bracket is going inside of here. So as you can see, I got it on the outside, so I'm gonna have to take that bolt out and do it again, going through that centerpiece. Get that out first. So the centerpiece here, there we go. So we got that somewhat lined up with that. So I am going to go ahead, I'm going to throw the pin through there that goes in that back piece. So I went ahead and put that in there for now, just kind of hold it there. I don't think it's going to last. I don't think I'm going to be able to keep it in there because somehow I've got to get this in. Like I said, I already did this once, but yeah, I forget somehow I did it. So we're relearning again. So we got it inside the brackets. Okay, got it lined up in there. There we go. Okay. So now we're kind of lined up there. So I can tell you when I pulled this stuff off, there was a little bit of tension on it. So, yeah, I mean, I could have to, you might have to kind of pick something up or lift something a little bit. Like you can see, I'm having to lift the deck up because that hole there is not going to line up. Because I need to get this hole to line up with the hole in the back so that this pin will go through. I'm going to try kind of pulling forward because I think when I hit it, my deck got shifted back, so it's probably kind of pulling all this back. So there we go. That was it, kind of up and forward with it. So it definitely helps to have your engine or your mower hoisted up for this part. Wow. So my deck, after I hit that curve, my deck was actually almost touching my wheel on both sides. So that's pretty crazy now that everything is locked in. How much further away the deck is from the wheel. So that's cool because I knew something wasn't right with that. So I'm going to come back through here again and try to pay attention on the orientation that you put it through. So what I believe there's little letters on here that says BM right here. I think the orientation of these letters are also the orientation of the hole back there. So I'll let you know in a minute. Yes. So the orientation of those letters are the orientation of that hole. So when you put it through, because you're going to have a lot of tension on those, and they're not going to want to turn very well, get them orientated in the right way before you try to put these little pins in blind. Again, when you put these through, this little lip needs to be on the outside. If it's on the inside, this pin is never going to go through because it's going to hit and it's not going to let it. So just make sure when you push it through, you're going with the angle piece on the outside. So for this one, I'm going to have to come through, let's see, in this direction right here. This is going to be interesting because of the way this is turned. So there we go. Almost. There it is. It's in. So as you can see, it's actually kind of hard to see, I think, but new bracket installed, that through, that pin's through, that pin's through, that one's on. Last thing we need to do is put the deck height nut on. So just kind of lock nut, size 15. It's really the only socket or wrench or whatever that you're going to need is just this 115 right here, at least for these. and then screwing it or turning it back towards the tire. We'll tighten it. Do it like this. So I do like my deck up as high as it'll go, because you have all the directions to go down, but only so much to go up. All right, so I got that screwed up right about to the height that I want it. And last thing that I've got to do is camera around, pop this thing on. Now on one side, you're going to have your controls and your gauges. On this side, the side I'm working on, you're going to have your gas tank. Just kind of give that a pull. It's just a little plastic thing that just kind of bends like that. So pretty easy. I do recommend putting it back on while you're working on it, just so something doesn't fall into your gas tank. And then orientation of this is pretty darn easy. You can see the cutout for your handle. Line up your holes, put everything in. Pretty simple, especially with your gas tank, because you just go right over the top of your gas tank. There's a little notch on your gas tank to line everything up. Got lined up back there. Got my trusty box of Pittsburgh fittings, whatever you want to call them. Got them for free, so that's pretty cool. Not a 5-finger discount either. I just spent $50 on some brand, and they threw these in for free. But they're like $14 normal, so that was pretty good. I mean, it comes with a lot of them, even $14. You know, that's, if you're not a mechanic, that's dang near a lifetime. So anyway, I'm just gonna pick, you know, maybe something like that. Those will probably work. If they don't, then we'll try another one. And just go ahead and push it in. That one worked. Got another one. Here, got a hole inside. Oh, so that one was too small. So clearly, some of them are just a little bit different in their sizing. So on the front one, I was able to use a little bit smaller one. That went really tight. On the one inside, it looks like I'm going to have to use one that's maybe just a little bit fatter. So I'm going to have to go with still one with a small head, but fatter body. There's not a lot of room for a larger head in there. Okay. And the back one also looks like it needs one that's a little bit bigger. So, oh yeah. Put that down in there. There's a little tab back there that just kind of fits down in there. And put the lid for the gas cap. We'll put the gas cap lid back on. The lid for the gas tank. I love it. There we go. All right, guys. So done. Really, overall, pretty easy project, especially if your mower's cutting absolutely horrible and you think, holy crap, I'm going to have to buy a new mower, or, you know, I own a lawn business and this just isn't cutting it. No pun intended. Or, you know, my neighbors are all looking at my yard because my cut sucks so much. Yeah, I know those brackets are expensive. I mean, overall, I probably have it's a little under $300 for 3 brackets, but it's better than $7,000 for a new mower, or 4 or 5, or whatever a new mower is going to cost you. So guys, once again, I know I already said this, but thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to try to help you out. Do please subscribe if you like these kind of videos. I've been extremely busy here recently with my business, but I'm going to start posting massive amounts of videos. You can see I got a machine right back there on tracks, maybe. That is a machine I'll be talking about. I have a new stand-on mower that I bought, $3,999, 32-inch stand-on commercial mower, Razor brand, little peep there. So keep your eyes open. Some really cool stuff that I've purchased recently, and just some stuff I'll be doing. And yeah, guys, thanks a lot. Sub, hit that like button. If you didn't like it, hit that thumbs down, but tell me why you didn't like it. Other than that, keep on hustling. I'll see you next time.